The Gigantamax starter Pokemon are making their way back into Pokemon Go, which means we're going to need to know how to take these Pokemon down, what's the most efficient way to go about this, and is it even worth our time and energy and effort to do Gigantamax battles in Pokemon Go? Let's get into the video. So welcome to the Trainer Club. Here we go. The Kanto starter Gigantamax battles, however you want to phrase that, is going down this weekend on the 8th and the 9th from 6 a.m. I believe until 9 p.m. is the official time. And we are going to be doing the Blastoise, the Venusaur, and the Charizard. So if you missed any of these Gigantamax battles, please make sure to participate in these. In this video, we're going to go over everything you need to know about all of these. The reason why I say please participate in them is because I believe that Gigantamax is going to be the way that some Pokemon in the future can be released. And in order for you guys to be able to get them the easiest, think about it, like Zapdos, Moltres, Articuno have been in there. Now we're going into the Dynamax Raikou, Suicune, and Entei. And then imagine if there was a new legendary and instead of putting it into the regular raids, they put it into the Dynamax or Gigantamax, and that's how we got that Pokemon into Pokemon Go. So it's a very high possibility that will happen at some point making its debut. Thanks Toxtricity, even though there was regular Toxtricity raids, there was Dynamax, Gigantamax, which would handle all of them. The reason why that Gigantamax is harder, obviously there takes a lot more people. That's where we're going down with the strategies here in this video. But then also it's going to give you a ton more rewards. 25,000 XP per completed is going to be 50,000 with a lucky egg, 25,000 Stardust with a star piece, 37,500. This is nothing to overlook, nothing to like poo-poo away, that it doesn't really matter, guys. This is actually important and something that definitely is going to help your gameplay out. And that Gigantamax can do everything. It can go through Mega, it can do regular, it can Dynamax and Gigantamax. If you go any of the other ways, it can't go through, so that handles both of them. For me, what I'm doing is hopefully I'll get a shiny of each this weekend. I am just lucky swapping the shiny Gigantamax Pokemon, and then regardless of what the IVs are, unless I know I have like multiple of them lined up, I put it to level 40, because a lucky shiny Gigantamax at level 40 is already super strong. That's what I've done with my Kingler for this weekend when I go against Charizard, which we're going to talk about. So let's not waste any more time and let's go into what the counters are and what to look out for each of these Pokemon. So here is how the Dynamax does work out. So every single time you do a Dynamax or Gigantamax, they're in parties of 4. Think about Dynamax, but then Gigantamax is just multiples of those. And they go in the order in which you enter into the battle. So if there was me, Tom, John, and Mo, and we all entered 1, 2, 3, 4, we would be in the same party, right? So there is value to getting together with your community and saying, hey, who has the most strongest Pokemon that can go after all the attacks? Cool. You do that. Maybe you shield once in a while, or maybe you switch back between your tank and not, and then everybody else can do attacks and then do shields, right? So we can have this kind of proportionate thing, and then maybe one person's, well, I have max heals on this instead of max shields, so then the max heals can go through and help everybody in that party. So strategizing like that is effective, whereas like, you know, if you just go in with random people, let's say there's one weak player for every party, but then randomly, if you tried to go in and then all those weak players got into one, they'd get wiped out way quicker and they would do less damage and help the party overall. That's why it's important to strategize here. So let's start off with the Gigantamax Charizard. This Pokemon is going to be a fire and a flying type, which makes it double weak to rock. Unfortunately, we really don't have the best rock options out there. It's also going to be single weak to electric and water. And then also double resists fairy, fighting, fire, ground, and steel, and single resists bug and grass. This Pokemon as a regular is going to max out at 3,266. And as far as the Charizard's fast moves, it can get Dragon Breath and Ember and Wing Attack, which are all Elite TMable fast moves, Air Slash and Fire Spin. Then it can get Flamethrower, Elite TM, Dragon Claw, Fire Blast, Overheat Blast Burn, which is an Elite TM, and the G-Max Wildfire move. So the 100% IVs will be 1651 under every condition except windy weather and sunny weather. And in that windy and sunny weather, it's going to go all the way to 2,064 at level 25. So those are the 2 IVs to look out for when catching. And also let's talk about using a Mega during this day. So if you do want more XL candy, obviously we talk about using Mega Pokemon. So here I would suggest using Primal Groudon. Unless you need Blastoise desperately, reason why I would use Primal Groudon is going to cover all sunny weather conditions, which will be Charizard and Venusaur for the grass. So you will cover 2 of the 3 in that. There is no way, unfortunately, to cover all 3. But if you want to go for the regular Charizard, it's going to be Fire, Mega Houndoom, Mega Blaziken, Primal Groudon, Mega Charizard. And in the flying category, Pidgeot, Pinsir, Aerodactyl, Salamence, and Ray Rayquaza. And then if we go into the top counters for this Pokemon, so Gigantamax Kingler is going to be the biggest hitting Pokemon that we have going against this. So I am going to be leveling mine up to 40. I will be giving it extra moves. I already have a level 40 Blastoise, and then I have a level 40 Toxtricity for when needed. So for this one, using any of the water type Pokemon based on it having fire moves and a dragon move, this would be the best way to make sure that you are the most neutral. So I'm going to be going in with a Blastoise for the regular spams, and then when I go Gigantamax, I will switch into my Kingler that will have a level 3 attacking move, and it will be level 40, which I will do at the beginning of the video with you guys. In spot number 2, we have Gigantamax Blastoise with Rollout and G-Max Cannon. Then we do have the Gigantamax Toxtricity in spot number 3. So like I talked about, that's going to be what my party looks like. And even in a third, I might throw in a Galarian Bird, but I'm going to throw in the Toxtricity because I have it at level 50. So as far as these Gigantamax moves, it doesn't matter as much what the quick move is. Here it's recommending Bubble, obviously, for the Kingler because it's going to be strong. Rollout will be a rock move, which will be from the Gigantamax Blastoise and Blastoise when it's regular. But the G-Max moves, remember, are going to be locked out. So whatever that one G-Max moves, it doesn't really matter what the fast moves are. That only matters for Dynamax what the fast moves are. And then for the other Dynamax, we're going to be looking at Moltres with the Wing Attack and Ancient Power, Thundershock, and Ancient Power on the Zapdos. Then we can go to the regular Dynamax Kingler. We can also go to regular Blastoise in the Dynamax. We could do Gigantamax Lapras as well with Water Gun. And you could do Inteleon, Machamp, Lapras in the Dynamax forms and so on. So the biggest takeaway is use your strongest Gigantamax Pokemon. Okay, so now let's switch into the Blastoise. This Pokemon is an all water type. It's going to max out at 2,788 as a normal type. The heaviest it has in the stat category is going to be in the defense, so it's a little bit more bulky. That's why I choose to use that as the Blastoise to take the hits and then switch over into the Kingler to do the moves, and then switch back once it comes back into the non-Gigantamax Dynamax form. So for this one is going to be weak to grass as well as electric. And it's going to have a single resistance to fire, ice, steel, and water. As far as its fast attacks, it's going to get Bite, Water Gun, and Rollout. As far as its charge moves, it gets Flash Cannon, Ice Beam, Hydro Pump, Hydro Cannon, Comedy Move, Skull Bash, and G-Max Cannonade. And as far as the 100% IV on the Blastoise, it's going to be 1409 in every condition but rainy weather. In the rainy weather, it's going to boost it all the way to 1761 at level 25. And for this one, if you guys do not want to take my advice and go after the first one, you can also use water type Pokemon to catch Blastoise. I'm assuming none of us need really XL candy for this, so for me personally, if I'm going out for the Fuecoco, that would also get handled by the Primal Kyogre, so that's a very valuable one. And then if you're doing regular raids, it will handle Moltres, but it will not handle Zapdos as well as the Articuno. Here we're looking at Mega Blastoise, Slowbro, Gyarados, Swampert, and Primal Kyogre. Then for this specific one, we are going to focus all around the top counters, which is going to be the Gigantamax Venusaur. Unfortunately, I don't even have a Gigantamax Venusaur. So during this day, either I'll get a good quality shiny one that I could boost to level 40, or I will just have to wait and lucky trade it. Also for this one, there's some other ones too. In spot number 2, we have Gigantamax Toxtricity with Spark and G-Max. Then we have the Rillaboom with Razor Leaf and Grass Knot. Then we have the Gigantamax Gengar with Lick and G-Max Terror. Zapdos Dynamax with Thundershock and Thunderbolt. Then we have the Dynamax Venusaur with the Frenzy Plant and the Toxtricity Low-Key form in the Dynamax form as well. Then we can go into the Amped form in spot number 8. In 9, we have Kingler with Mudshot. In Gigantamax, Lapras with Psywave in the Gigantamax as well. Then you have the Metagross and down further. So for me here, I'm going to be attacking with my Gigantamax Toxtricity, and I will be defending with the Venusaur because that one will be one of the easier ones to do. You could also do Electricity, but unfortunately with the moves that the Blastoise can get, with the ice, with the water, it's going to put a little bit of a damper on the ground type of the Toxtricity, as well as when we're looking at the Toxtricity as well with the ice move going into the ground. So we have to be a little bit cautious about that. So my party for that one will be those two Pokemon, and then I'll probably put a Blastoise in there as well, just because it's tanky and I can sit it in there and it'll be neutral to most of all the moves. So I am going to be putting a Gigantamax Blastoise against a Blastoise, and that will work quite well. And then I will switch into the Toxtricity and then also switch into another Toxtricity if I need to. But if I had a Venusaur, I would obviously have that in there as well. That could be the attacker. Then we're going to move into the final one, which is going to be the Gigantamax Venusaur. Venusaur. This one maxes out at 3,075 and has pretty even almost 200 stats for attack, defense, and stamina. This one's going to be weak to fire, flying, ice, and psychic. It's going to resist electric, fairy, fighting, and water, and double resist grass. As far as its fast moves, it's going to get Vine Whip and Razor Leaf. As far as its charge moves, it will get Petal Blizzard, Sludge Bomb, Solar Beam, Calm Day move, Elite TM, Frenzy Plant, and G-Max Vine Lash. And then as far as the 100% IVs, it will be 1554 or boosted in cloudy or sunny weather all the way until 1943 at level 25. And then we could talk about the Mega Pokemon here. Once again, I recommend the Primal Groudon, but here are the other ones if you care to do others. We could do the Venusaur, Sceptile, Abomasnow, Primal Groudon obviously. For the poison, we could do Venusaur, we could also do Beedrill, and then we could do Gengar. Which then takes us to the top counter. Can you guys guess it? It will be none other than the counterpart, Gigantamax Charizard. The cool thing about this trio is that they are all strong and weak to each other, so you can handle them all by just getting them all. And that is fortunate for us here. In the second spot, we're going to be looking at the Dynamax Moltres with Fire Spin and Sky Attack, the Gigantamax Gengar with Lick and G-Max Terror. We have the regular Dynamax Charizard, we have the Metagross with Psychic, we have the Gigantamax Lapras with G-Max Resonance, and the Dynamax Zapdos. Then also, if you want to keep going down, you can see things such as the Cinderace, the Articuno, the Gengar, the Cryogonal, the Gigantamax Toxtricity, Excadrill, and Raboot, and more. So for this one, my party is going to be a little bit different because I unfortunately did not get a great or even more than one of the Gigantamax Charizard, so I haven't been able to swap them yet as a lucky trade. I will be doing that in the near future, but for now, I will be using my Dynamax Moltres because I got a 98% IV, so I will be powering it up to level 40 as well. So that's the one I'm going to be using against this Venusaur, and then obviously we can put other things in there. More than likely, I'm going to be using my Metagross in there as we're attacking, or my Charizard. Either of those two would work because they are going to absorb most of the moves and make it neutral. But most importantly, guys, get out there with a campfire group, go after multiple of these raids. You can even auto catch in the background during a calm day if you're not super excited about the Fuecoco, but that's 3 times catch Stardust. If you used Ultra Balls with your Pokemon Go modded plus, and we're able to auto throw those in the background with a star piece on as you do a Gigantamax raids in a downtown area with lore modules, man, your Stardust game would be insane. And I hope you guys do participate in that. So thank you guys for being here as always. I love you guys, all my likers, commenters, subscribers, Patreon members. Everybody take your support, subscription, and participation to X level. I'm gonna see you guys out on the next video. Peace.
I want to take this time to thank everybody who supports me in every facet. It means the world to me, and an extra special thank you to all my Patreons. I greatly appreciate the extra support to continue to allow me to pursue Pokemon Go full time, allowing me to create my daily video uploads in the most timely fashion for everyone's benefit. Plus, I get the amazing experience of sharing my creative processes behind the scenes and raiding all around the globe with select upper tiers. Thank you everybody for being a part of the Trainer Club. You all mean the absolute world to me, and I will see you guys out on the next video.